In this video, we want to demonstrate a vertical geometry tool called Profile by Slope from Element. So I want to establish the elevation on an element based on the slope from some other element that I've created. So you can see in my file here, I've got an element. If I look at its profile over here in View 2, I've established that element at a particular elevation, in this case 4 feet below the lowest point in ground. You can see the 3D representation of that element in View 3. And so what I want to do is I want to use that information to create elevation on something else. So the first thing I need to do is establish the horizontal location for this new element. And I'll simply do that using one of the horizontal geometry tools called Single Offset Entire Element. So I'll locate the element that I want to offset. I can key in the distance that I want to offset it, in this case 12 feet. Do I want it to mirror it? No, I'm just going to have one element on the outside there, and that'll pick that element. So now I have the element here. You can see it's based on a 12-foot offset, so that rule is on that element. Now I need to locate its elevation, and again I want to use Profile by Slope from Element. So I'm going to establish the element that I want to profile, which is this one, the new element. Now I can multiple select more elements if I want to profile several elements at once, but I'll reset because I just have the one. Locate the element I want to start from, that's the reference element. The slope that I want to use, so I can type that in, and then the point selection. So I could say I want to project from this element to this element at every point along this reference element. So imagine this reference element has elevations all along it. It's going to project over from all those points. Or I could just say only project from the vertices or the endpoints or the centroid. So I'll say all. Now I can adjust the elevation once I've calculated it. I can say no adjustment. I can say the minimum. So imagine an element that has multiple elevations along it. When it projects over it 3 to 1, whatever the lowest point you've calculated, it'll use that for the entire new element. So the element that it establishes would be flat, but the reference element might have varying elevation to it. Or the maximum. So you've got three options there. And then once you get to that point, do you want to raise it up or lower it? So you can set a vertical offset. And I don't want to do that, so and then you can see it establishes the elevation there. Now if you don't like the result, then you simply, for example, let me show you in the profile view. If you don't like the result, then you select it in Profile and you can delete it. And then you just simply step through the tool again. So I'll just go right back to the tool, select the element I want to profile, reset, select the reference element, the slope, the profile adjustment, and the offset. And then I'll fit view, and you can see there's the profile. So if I take a look at this element here now, I can, since I cleared out the active profile previously, I set that to active, and now you can see the 3D version of it. And in 3D, if I were to zoom around, let me put that over here. If I were to zoom around, you could see, hopefully you can see that it is two elements there. So that's the profile by slope from element. Other variations of that tool are profile by slope from a point, or profile by variable slope or simple profile by offset vertically. So I could set one element 10 feet above another, so to speak.